Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Melissa Weatherspoon and I'm a realtor here in Tennessee. And today I'm super excited to be able to share with you my quick 10 tips of how you can pass your real estate or affiliate broker exam. How many times? The first time. So if you've been looking for information like this, just know you are in the right place at the right time, and let's get it. If this is your first time joining the channel, again, welcome. Please make sure to hit the subscribe button at the bottom of the screen to make sure you don't miss any good tips in the future or learning with us all together to become realtors or affiliate brokers in the state of Tennessee. So, tip number one, guys, you have got to make sure to get your mind right before you take the test. Guys, it's very important. The way you feel about the test is exactly how the outcome is going to be. Whenever you decide to take the realtor's exam, make sure that you go in on test day with the attitude of, I know I'm getting ready to come out of here with my license. Nothing's going to stop me. Guys, just think about it. If you go in thinking I'm going to fail and you're nervous, you let the jitters get to you, then 9 times out of 10, you're gonna that's what's gonna happen. But guys, we are wanting to pass our test the very first time around, so make sure to go in with the proper mindset. Very important. Not only that, guys, another thing to remember is you have to pay for these tests. So if you have to put money up to pay a test, you don't want to fail. Because anytime you do fail, of course you can go back and take it over and over again. But guys, who wants to do that when you could just pass it the very first time? So that is tip number one. Number two, guys, whatever course of study you decide to take, please, please, please make sure to take it seriously. You're not doing this for fun. You are trying to absorb and learn as much as you can so that on test day, you can excel. So with me personally, my personal experience, I actually decided to take an online course through Tennessee Trees. And guys, I will be very honest, I really did have a wonderful experience. I really liked the way, of course, as you go through all of your units, just like you would any other textbook, you go through the material, and then right there at the end of your chapter, you will find that there will be a quiz. Now, you will take the quiz. It'll be about maybe 2 to 3 questions, and you may fail some, you may pass some. Either way, you need to know what you're obtaining in your mind and what you're not. So take advantage of the quizzes at the end of each chapter. Now, once you pass the quiz, the next step will be, it will actually give you a full unit or chapter test. Guys, you will go through the test. One good thing I like about this test with Trees is that it will not let you continue to the next chapter until you have proficiently passed. I believe it's a score of maybe 70 or above. You have to pass those unit exams before it will take you to the next unit to start studying. So make sure, once again, whenever you are going through these chapters, take a few notes. It's always important, the more you write, the more you learn. As you're going through these, make sure that you are absorbing everything, so whenever it comes to the quiz or the chapter test, you can pass it with flying colors. Step number 3. Guys, please make sure that you do take your studying so seriously. It's very important to take your studying seriously. Guys, if you're like me, I got wrapped up into thinking, oh my gosh, I know I need to, pass this test. I know it's coming up soon, but if you're anything like me, I like going out with my friends. I like going out, to eat with my family, going celebrating birthdays. Guys, I received one of the best pieces of advice during this whole studying time for myself from my mentor. And when I was feeling that way, she said one simple sentence: Melissa, make sure that you keep your eye on the prize. Just know when you see your friends going out, when you see those family get-togethers happening and you can't go, just know that after you pass your test, all of those restaurants, all of that family, all of those friends, they're going to still be there. So you don't have to rush, or you don't have to feel like you're missing out on something, because this is just for a small bit of time. And when you come out with that license, drop the mic. Not only that, I was also, working a full-time job, still am working a full-time job while I'm doing real estate now. But in that, you have to not let your mind trick you into making excuses, saying, oh, I'm just too tired today, I'll study tomorrow. Because what's going to happen tomorrow, you're going to be saying the same things, and before you know it, you're going to look up and wow, it's been 3 days and I haven't dedicated any time to my studies. And so there were plenty of nights I can remember that when I was in my studying phase and just going through my courses, I really had to really buckle down, and it was a lot of nights I was the only one up in my house while my husband and my kids were asleep. And so, it's a lonely time, but at the same time, that was when I actually absorbed my best material in my head. So whatever time of day that you dedicate to studying for your real estate exam, make sure that you get it in, you get it done. Guys, remember, you only have to do this one time. Step number 4. At the beginning of each chapter, especially if you're doing an online course through Trees, you will notice that they will have a vocabulary bank right at the beginning of the chapter. What I would typically do is I would have a stack of index cards, and every single term that I saw, I would write down the term on one side, flip it around, and on the other side, I would write a definition. You don't have to follow the book definition word by word. Translate it to something that you can remember easily in your own terms. So I typically did that at the beginning and end of each chapter. The good thing about doing flashcards, especially with me, it always helps me be able to study by myself. So I know I don't have a lot of family and friends around all the time because we work during the day, my kids are at school and they're doing other activities. And so having flashcards is a way that you can't cheat yourself, because all you have to do is just make a game out of it. Now, if you go through your stack, you want to be able to fluently say what the term is back and forth. If for any reason you come to a card, and just like anybody, there's certain words that you will get stumped on. On those words, just make sure to slide it out of your stack, because the only way a card gets out of one of my stacks is if I can say it and I have it in my mind and I can say it proficiently. I pretty much move it away out of my stack, because I don't want to waste time trying to study those words anymore. Now, the words that I just couldn't comprehend, those will pretty much roll over to my Unit 2 stack. So that way I'm always, getting to learn it. The more repetition that you learn with the words and the definitions, it's the more apt you will be as far as memorizing them. Step number 5, make sure to set a time limit and set a date to taking your test. Guys, the longer you continue to study and you don't have any dates down, or you haven't put that, put all of your study into dates, then the longer and longer it's going to be before you actually take the test. Guys, I always try to do a rule of thumb. My mentor told me that after I pass my course, don't go any further than 3 to 4 weeks after your course has been completed to schedule and take your exam. Guys, think about it. You have been going through this course for the last few months. You've been studying these flashcards, studying vigorously. Guys, the worst thing is for all of the information to be up here, and then you don't schedule your test, and then you find you finish your course and it's 6 months after your test, because it'll creep up fast and you're having to restudy everything again. Guys, while you have the knowledge, guys, I always like the concept, work smarter, not harder. Go ahead, schedule your test. Do not let the fear of failing your test keep you from scheduling. You've been studying for months. You are ready. Number 6, after you've passed your course, now it is time for you to go ahead and order a PSI study manual. Now, you may hear me say PSI and you're wondering, well, who is that? What is that? PSI is pretty much the institution in Tennessee that actually the test is based from. And so you will hear PSI a lot when it's time for you to start taking your exam, especially if you're going to be taking your test in Tennessee. I wanted to show you what the book looked like. Here it is. There we go. So PSI real estate exam, guys, very important. When you order this book is about $30. And make sure when you order yours that you have the most up-to-date edition. Notice here it says edition 8. Very important, just in case it changes, because it can by the time you take your test. Make sure that you always have the correct edition. But again, it is the PSI Real Estate Exam, pretty much a study guide. Some of the things that I loved about this book is, first, it's a PSI book. So instead of you going to the back of your chapters and noticing that your chapter's having a quiz and all of the numbers, it'll ask you a question and then it'll say A, B, C, D. Well, this is different because it words everything is the same way and in the same format as if you would see it on your PSI exam. So you will notice it'll say the question in this book, and instead of A, B, C, D, it may say 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the format you will see on your test. So really good, to get used to, seeing those questions, knowing how to, take those questions, knowing how to answer them. I wanted to show you a little bit of what I loved about the book. So at the end of each chapter, you will notice that you will see a chapter quiz, which is very, very important. After you see the chapter quiz, it also helps you out with your vocabulary, and notice it actually does a matching game with you. So as you're doing the chapter questions as well as the matching exams, it will also give you an answer key at the back of the book to where you can check your answers instantly. And what I typically did when I was taking my test, I would check the answers, and if any reason I just couldn't get it, I got it wrong, those are the only ones that I would study that day on. Anything that I got correct, that's fine. I really wouldn't go back and look at it too much because, time is everything, and you want to save and keep your time of studying for the things that that's not sticking, so you can, have more time to work with those. So make sure, guys, if you don't have a study guide, I'm telling you right now, you are missing out. We're trying to pass this thing the first time. So make sure right after you finish your course, go ahead, get your study manual, and for the next week or so, you're going to start studying this. As well as when you're doing the units and chapters, it really gives a wonderful breakdown of all of the material that you have learned throughout your course online. So the chapters may be jumbled up a bit from the online course to the book that you're looking at, but it still will give you pretty much cliff notes of all of the things that's very important for you to know for your test. So make sure to get that. Now, guys, I want to tell you just really quick a very funny story that happened to me when I was trying to find my study book. Well, I did speak to a mentor that really helped me tremendously, and I remember actually, getting on a Zoom call with her, going through the book because I had got it in. I was so excited. I'm ready to get it started, and then all of a sudden she said, "Hey, Melissa, let me see the book." And I was like, "Okay, here it is." And she was like, "Wait a minute. That's not the book. That's not the book that I was talking about." And so I actually ordered this book as well. And one thing I really noticed about the book is when I was taking my course, like I literally remember word for word some of the things that were in my online class versus this book. And I was like, man, this stuff, it really sounds the same. Maybe, maybe they're just trying to drill it into me a little bit more. Y'all, I literally went through this whole book in about two and a half weeks. And literally it was the wrong one. And I really feel that I went through the course twice. But guys, everything that needs to happen will happen. And so again, I just looked at it, instead of being frustrated, I looked at it as, okay, well, hey, I got more study time. I got more, study time and material in. And, hey, I passed the test the first time. So, hey, it must have did well by me. But guys, please make sure that you invest in a study book. It's going to change your whole entire life. It's going to change the whole game, period. All right, guys, we've made it to number 7. So we finished the course completely. We've ordered our study book and we've studied that for about a week or so. We familiarized ourselves with the quizzes. Guys, we have finally made it to about maybe 1 to 2 weeks before test day. You know what happened to me? What I did? Guys, all of those friends and family that you miss so much, this is the time to bring your crew in to help quiz you. I literally went ahead and booked my family and my kids for a specific weekend, which was, I did it one weekend prior to my test. And I had everyone come over to the house, and for that entire weekend, guys, I was drilled. They asked every questions coming from the end of my online course quizzes that I did, my chapter test, someone had my laptop, then all of the questions in my review packet and in the study manual book. I had one person that was just literally asking me questions from the end of the chapter of that book. Then I actually had, pretty much in a nutshell, they were asking me every single question that I've ever passed through the course of my study, whether it be online or the study guide. Guys, I can't tell you enough how much this really helps you go through all of the questions. Y'all should have saw me. I was like a machine. I was like, yes, true, false, no, you name it, I was doing it. But it really helped during this time period, built my confidence that all of the studying that I did for the last couple of weeks, in the last couple of months, it was really, it showed me that it was ingrained in my head. And, everyone needs a little confidence before they're about to take a big test. And so we did have a drilling weekend, and while they were asking me questions, if there was any question that I wasn't able to answer, I was a little iffy on, or just really didn't know the answer, literally I had my deck of colored index cards, and anyone that I got a wrong answer with would write down that question and the answer on the back, because this card deck that they're creating for you will pretty much turn into your new study deck. It shouldn't be too many of them. I wouldn't say, it may just be maybe 30 to 40 of them, the ones that you just always got stumped on. They pretty much put that in a deck, and for the next week leading up to my test, I did not study anything but those cards, and then I studied the math section. Number 8, the math. Guys, when it comes to math, I will be very honest in telling you, math is not my strong suit, but that's okay. It's okay. So whenever I was getting ready to take the test, I was so scared of the math portion. I spoke to my mentor about it, and out of all of the testing categories, she said, which one are you scared of? Of course, I said math. She said, you know what, do me a favor, I'm going to tell you this. Do not worry about it. Don't study any other math. Like literally, I would finish my chapters. I'd be going through the study guide. The time's winding down. It's time for me to take the test. I'm a week away from the test. I'm a few days away from the test. And my mentor was still telling me, just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. And guys, as scared as I was, being on the other side of taking the test, I actually now know why she kept saying that. And guys, I'm about to tell you right now. So after I passed my course during the online course, right, I actually received my certificate through the mail, and it came with this packet of information just preparing you for the upcoming test and breaking it down, you know, in the categories that you'll be tested on and all the details about those questions. And guys, let me just read it to you real quick. So the national section consists of 80 graded test questions, including approximately 8 I said math questions. Did that just tell you everything you need to know? Guys, this out of the entire test, let me read to you the Tennessee portion. The Tennessee state law section has 40 graded questions. The national section has 80 questions, and out of those 80 questions, again, how many? 8 questions of math. Guys, this is important to know. This is some important things to know when you're studying, because y'all, I was a new woman after I was a new woman after I heard about that. Reason being, guys, I was so scared and anxious about the math, but the reason she said not to worry about it is because, I mean, out of the whole test, it was only about 8 questions. Now, every state test, every test is different, but I know for my test, I literally had probably around 8 to 10 questions when I was testing. Guys, 8 to 10 questions, if I were to go through on my worst day, I said, and fail all of those questions, is it going to be enough for me to fail my entire exam? Okay, that's all I'm going to say on it. That's all I'm going to say. So, let me see. Another thing to know is for Tennessee, it says you must pass each of the 2 sections with at least a 70 passing score. If you pass with a 70, you're pretty much good to go. And so just a few things, a little study material you can keep in mind, just add it to the study material. All right, guys, we're getting there. So now we have finally made it to step 9. So step 9, we have pretty much arrived to the day before your test. The nerves are hitting you, your palms are starting to sweat. Oh my gosh, I think did I study enough? All the questions start running through your head. Am I ready? Should I reschedule? I missed those questions on my study weekend with my family and friends. Am I just ready to take this test? Guys, the answer is yes, you are. So step number 9, my mentor told me that, and I'm so happy I did it. Even if you don't want to, step number 9, do not study a thing the day before your exam. Guys, it makes perfect sense. You have studied this for, you've practiced for this marathon for months now. Just think about it. It is time for you to trust yourself and your mind, and knowing that you have done everything at this point that you were supposed to do in order to be able to pass this exam. Guys, you have to keep that in your head, because if you don't, you will overload yourself the day before the test. And if you're anything like me, you will start mixing up the simplest of questions. We don't want to do that. Again, our goal is to pass this test the first time. So guys, the day before the test, go out to eat. Go see a friend. Go do something. Go to bed a little bit earlier than normal. Whatever you do, just trust yourself and know that real estate it's secondary to your thoughts, and anything that you've learned, it is up here and it's not going nowhere. No one can take anything away from your mind. And so relax, get ready for the test, get your outfit together that you're about to take your picture in with your license, and go to bed early and get ready to have a great mindset for your upcoming test, because you are ready to pass it. All right, guys, number 10. So make sure when you decide, okay, today is the day I'm going to schedule my test. Guys, think smarter, not harder. Guys, don't schedule your exam for 8 a.m. in the morning when you know you're not a morning person. You have to really do things that make sense. Guys, if you're a morning person, by all means, they have 8 o'clock study times Monday through Friday, actually Monday through Saturday. Saturdays, if it works better for you. Definitely try to pick a time during the day that you are going to excel the best. Like, if you're a better test taker or you're more wide awake afternoon, or after 12 or 1 o'clock, watch those habits with yourself, and you know which time works best for you. Schedule around the time that you won't be sleepy, you won't be cranky, you won't be hungry or making excuses. Schedule a time that's going to really, really, really help you concentrate better and make sure that you are ready to go for the test. So guys, today I really, really thank you for joining me on listening to Melissa's 10 steps of passing your affiliate broker or realtor exam the very first time. Now, guys, I do want to give a disclaimer. Now, guys, as much as we want to pass the test the very first time, I want you to always remember that as long as you go in doing your best, you're going to succeed. It's not a question ever of if you're going to pass the test. It's merely, when am I going to pass the test? So guys, you follow all these steps, you go in, and it just doesn't happen for you that day. Just don't down yourself. Don't think that, oh my gosh, something's wrong. Should I be a realtor? Should I not take the test again? Guys, you put in all the work. Do not ever let anything or anyone stop you from doing what you know you can. Guys, it's a large world out there, and guys, you can do anything that you put your mind to. You can do anything that you make a goal to do. Guys, be positive, and I know that in time, whether it's the first time or the 7th time, you will pass that exam. So welcome in advance, congratulations in advance to becoming an affiliate broker or realtor. Guys, again, please make sure to like, subscribe, comment. I do want to always hear from you. Let me know how your process went as far as studying. If you have any tips that work for you, that how many times it took you to pass your realtor's exam. Guys, this channel is to motivate all of us realtors, especially the ones that are trying to take their test to become a realtor. We want to work on this thing together. Please make sure to reach out to me in the comments below, or you will see my email address linked in the descriptions. I will also try to link in the description below my study books so you can purchase those whenever that time comes. But again, guys, thank you so much for joining. And if that's everything, I'll see you on the next one. Bye.